Good morning students. Welcome to my YouTube channel Gate by NKS. Today we are going to start a topic multiplexer. This is a topic inside the digital electronics. The digital electronics is common for the four branches, that is electrical, electronics, CS and IT. The topic multiplexer having a weightage of 1 to 2 marks into the gate examination depending on the branches. So, before going into the deep of this particular topic, let me introduce myself. I am Naveen Kumar Kabra. I am going to finish my PhD from NIT Surat. I am 3 times GATE qualified in the year 2010, 11 and 16. I had near about 10 plus years of GATE teaching experience. I am a freelancer faculty for the GATE IES for the PAIN India institutions. During my experience, I have taught thousands of the students, and most of the students are now serving the nation with the help of NITs, IITs and PSUs. My expertise subjects are communication system, digital electronics, control systems, signal systems and electronics and devices circuits. So, today we are going to start a topic of digital electronics, and inside this digital electronics we are going to discuss about multiplexer. So, let us start with the topic multiplexer. So, the question arises that what is multiplexer? Fine. So, a multiplexer is, one of the point is that it is a data selector. It is a data selector. So, now what is data selector? Fine. Now, second is it is a universal logic. Is a universal logic. So, again a question arises, sir, what is universal logic? So, we will talk about these 2 points. Fine. Let me give you the third point, that it is a combinational logic. So, it is what? A combinational logic. So, combinational logic means, first of all we talk about combinational logic. There are 2 kinds of logics are available in the digital electronics, is what? Combinational logic and sequential logics. Fine. So, combinational logics are those devices or those logic which does not depend on the clock pulses. Fine. Or you can say they are independent from the clock pulses and works in parallel. While the sequential logics are what? They are dependent on the particularly on clock pulses. So, the combinational logics are faster compared to the sequential logic. Now, the next question arises, so what is data selector and what is universal logic? So, data selector means that there are number of datas are available with us. We had a number of data inputs and we have to select any one of the choice. Fine. When we have a many choice and we have to select any one of the thing at the output side, fine, then such kind of works will be done by the multiplexer in the digital electronics, and the practical examples of multiplexers are used inside the communication. Fine. In the communication, when we talk about a PCM TDM system, which is basically such like a telephone, fine, principle, which is the basic principle of your telephone or lead line systems, or you can say a lead line systems. So, to perform the operation of a voice transmission by using the PCM TDM systems, the multiplexers and the demultiplexers are major units inside this. And when we talk about PCM TDM systems, these multiplexers are named as commutator and a demultiplexer is named as a decumulator switch over there. So, a commutator switch is what? Which will be picking any one of the user. Fine. In the PCM TDM system, if you see, fine, then such kind of systems is available, and these are basically the users over there. User 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, user 5. And this switch will be rotated at a particular speed that is known as sampling speed. Fine. I'm just giving you a practical examples over there and what is the application of this multiplexer first. Then we will go about the deep of this particular topic. So the application is what? The PCM TDM system. Inside that, this particular switch is named as a cumulator switch. And this cumulator switch selects any one of the user to transmit his or her voice from one point to the another point. So in such scenarios, the multiplexers comes into the picture. So over there, we are selecting one of the voice. So there are many voices are available over there, or there are many users are available over there, and this switch will be selecting any one point at a time. So that is known as data selections. That's why the multiplexer is also named as a data selector. Now the next question arises that what is universal logic, sir? So the universal logic is basically a device which can be used to define maximum logics available inside a particular digital system. If I talk about or I correlate this universal logic with the digital systems, then I will talk about that if a device or a logic which will be capable to design the basic gates of the digital electronics, then we are able to design all the higher order gates, and we are able to design all the higher order system. Sir, still we are confused. So let me give an example. The basic components in the digital is are what? AND gate, OR gate and NOT gate. So if any logic which is capable to design these three gates, fine, these three gates, what these three gates are? AND gate, OR gate and NOT gate. If any logic is capable to design these three basic gates, then we can able to design NAND gate, NOR gate, XOR gate and XNOR gate. Fine. And if we are able to design these four higher order gates, then we are capable to design higher order systems such as half adder, half subtractor, full adder, full subtractor, because the half adder and half subtractor full adders are a combination of XOR gate, AND gates, OR gate, NOR gate and so on. So if any logic which is capable to design the basic logic gates are named as universal logics, or you can say if a device or a logic which is capable to design all the possible designs available in the digital systems are named as a universal logic. So multiplexer is a universal logic. Now what will be the fundamental or what will be the logic representation of a multiplexer? So a multiplexer has a representation of 2 to the power n cross 1. That is the conventional representation. The conventional representation of mux is 2 to the power n cross 1, where 2 to the power n represents total number of inputs, and these inputs are also known as data inputs. Fine. And this n, the power of 2, fine, that is n, is named as select line. So this is what? The select line. And a multiplexer always have a single output. So you can see there are many data inputs, and we have to select any single data at the output side. So that selection of this particular data will be done by the select lines. Fine. That's why it is named as a data selector. Fine. So what is select line? The data will be selected with the help of select lines. Fine. We will select the data from the select line. Now the question arises, fine, so now the question arises that is there any other representation is available for the multiplexer? Yes. Nowadays the examiners are also uses another convention to represent the multiplexer, and that convention is what? 2 to the power n cross n plus 1. Fine. again repeating that the new convention that is used nowadays is 2 to the power n cross n plus 1, where we know that n is what? Select line, 1 is what? Output, fine, and 2 to the power n is what? Data inputs, fine. So now a same multiplexer, if I had a 2 cross 1 mux or 2 cross 1 mux, can be represented as a 2 cross 2 mux, as a 2 cross 2 mux. So now if an examiner asks you into the gate examination that design or realize a AND gate with the help of a 2 cross 2 multiplexer, a 2 cross 2 multiplexer, then a student get confused that sir, we have only one output for the multiplexer, while in the examiner asked us that the multiplexer has the 2 outputs because it is written as a 2 cross 2. So please be remember and not that inside that this 2 represent 1 as a select line and 1 is output, fine. So a 2 cross 2 multiplexer is nothing than a 2 cross 1 multiplexer, understood. So now I will summarize the points over there, that the universal logic, a mux is a universal logic, its conventional representation is what? 2 to the power n cross 1, its new representation is what? 2 to the power n, fine, cross n plus 1, make this note, fine, and where 2 to the power n represents the total number of inputs, 1 represents the output, n represents the select lines, and a 2 cross 1 mux can be represented as a 2 cross 2 multiplexer. Similarly, a 4 cross 1 mux can be represented as a 4 cross 3 multiplexer. So these points should be remembered for a multiplexer. Other than this, you can also note down that it is a data selector or a combinational logic, a combinational logic, clear. So that is the representation of a multiplexer. Now what is the fundamental principle of a multiplexer or how a multiplexer works? So let's start with the simplest example of a minimum possible combination of a multiplexer, that is 2 cross 1. Sir, is this the minimum possible mux? Yes, this is the minimum possible mux. Sir, explain this. So let's have an example. If I put n equal to 0, that means there is no selection is required. If I put n equal to 0, that means no selection. Fine. In that case, 2 to the power 0 cross 1, that means 1 cross 1. That means there is only one input data and there is a one output. So in that case, is there any selection is required? No sir, no selection is required because there is a single input and there is a single output. So it is look like a buffer or a NOT gate operation. Fine. So what will be the minimum possibility? Put n equal to 1. So that is 2 to the power 1 multiplied by 1. That is what? 2 cross 1 multiplexer. So a 2 cross multiplexer has 2 inputs, 1 select line and 1 output. Now what is the principle of this? Based on the decimal equivalent of select line, the output, or you can say the input, the decimal equivalent notation of input will be available at output. What I have written? The decimal equivalent of select line will be a principle to select the particular data at the output side. The decimal equivalent of select line will produce or select a particular input data at the output side. So in case of a single wire or with the help of a single variable or a single input, what will be the possible combination? There are two possible combinations that we can apply across the select line as. Fine, we know that with the help of n variables, the possible combinations of the inputs are 2 to the power n. So with the help of this, we can have a two possible combination is s equal to 0 and s equal to 1. So what will be the decimal equivalent of this? The decimal equivalent is 0 and 1. Fine. So the decimal equivalent 0 will provide a I0 at the output side. Fine. Because the decimal equivalent 0 is written over there and the I1 will be available at the output side when s will be 1 over there. When the s will be 1 over there. So when the s is 1, then this 1 will be fine, come into the picture and I1 will be available at the output side. Fine. Now the question is that, fine, or you need to be not that this decimal equivalent may be available over there, or it may be possible this decimal equivalent may be available over there also. Fine. The decimal equivalent to represent the input may be available at this point, or may be possible it will be available at the subscript of this particular input data. Clear? So based on this decimal equivalent, the output will be available. Now how to write its equation? So what is the principle? That it will select any one of the input at the output side, either I0 or I1, I0 or I1. That means there is a OR operation between them. So there is a OR operation between them, and this I0 and I1 will be selected based on the value of s. Fine. When the s is 0, the I0 will come. If s is 1, I1 will come. So when the s is 0, that means s bar I0, and when s is 1, this will become what? S I1. So this is the Boolean expression of a multiplexer, and this expression is what? This expression is nothing than a SOP representation. A SOP representation. That means a sum of product representation over there. Fine. The sum of product representation over there. So mux is nothing than a SOP representative. A SOP representer. Fine. It represents a Boolean equation in the form of SOP. So that is the one of the way to realize the universal logic, fine, using the mux. Fine. A mux as a universal logic to solve this particular point, fine, we can use, fine, that is the one of the method to solve the questions by using the equations also. Fine. By equations also. But I do not prefer, fine, I do not prefer if a question is lengthy with the help of equations. Fine, we will use the different short tricks to solve such kind of questions. Fine. Only whenever there is a question is asked with the help of 2 cross 1 mux, you can go for the equations. Fine, it is easy to solve them. Otherwise, if there is a lengthy fine mux or a higher order mux has been asked like 4 cross 1, 8 cross 1 mux, then if we are going to solve the Boolean equations, itself will take the time. To solve the Boolean equation, we itself use the K-map. Fine. In the GATE examinations, if there is a lengthy Boolean expression is given to us and asked to minimize them, we use what? Standardization method. Fine. We will expand this particular equation and use the K-map, and then we solve them. Fine. If the equation is having number of variables, more than 2 or more than 3 variables, fine, then we use what? Standardization method. So I will give you a suggestion, and my suggestion is that do not prefer the equation method to solve the mux questions, fine, if there is a more than 2 variables are available. If more than 2 variables are available. Fine. Now let's have another example over there. Fine. The another example I have taken is again a more than 2 cross 1 mux. The next mux will be, the possible mux is what? 4 cross 1 mux. So a 4 cross 1 mux means there are 4 inputs. The 4 inputs, 2 select lines and 1 output again. Now over there, fine, please take care of the LSB and MSB concept. Fine, the important point comes is what? LSB and MSB concept. So we talk about this particular topic in the deep. Fine, I will talk in the next slides. Our topic will be what? The LSB and MSB concept. It is very important during the solution of a multiplexer question, because fine, if we not take care of this LSB and MSB position, fine, then the decimal equivalent will be wrong. The decimal equivalent of the select lines are wrong. So over there again, fine, I will just explain the basic principle or the operation of this. S0 and S1 are the select line. Fine, the possible inputs are what? 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. And the decimal equivalent of this are what? 0, 1, 2 and 3. Fine. And based on this decimal equivalent, the output will be what? I0, I1, I2 and I3. Now based on the SOP representation, fine, we can write the Boolean expression for 4 cross 1 marks. Fine. So what is the SOP representation? That the 0 will be written as a complement and 1 will be written as a non-complement. So over there the S0 will be 0. So S0 bar. Let me change the pen. S0 bar. S0 bar, S1 bar, S1, S0 bar, sorry, this is S0 and this is S1. S1, find S0 and S1 bar, this is S0 bar, S1, this is S0 and S1. So now S0, S1 bar I note, S0, S1 I1, S0 bar S1 I2, S0, S1 and I3. Fine, clear? So that is the Boolean expression over there. So SOP is what? Sum of products. First of all, we will do the product of these all things. Fine. So individual terms will be available over there like S0 bar, S1 bar, I1, S0, S1 bar, I2, I0, I1, and then S0, S1, fine, and I2, and then S0, S1 and I3. Fine. And then we will perform the sum between them. So that is the expression over there. Now the question is about LSB and MSB position. Sir, you are talking about the LSB and MSB. So what is the importance of this LSB and MSB positions? So let's have some example over there. Let's suppose I have a 4 cross 1 marks. We will start with very basic points, okay, so that you can understand the points. Fine. Very simple examples. This is again the 2 select lines and output. Now let's assume there is no notations are given over there. Fine. The examiner is forget to mention the notations over there. In that case, fine, and if some fine data inputs are bounded with this, some variables are also bounded with this, then how to solve them? In such case, we will assume that fine, as the examiner has not given any notation of a particular select line as well as for the data inputs, then we will assume that all the things are written in the standard format, which is what this is become I0, I1, I2, I3, and A and B are my MSB and LSB. So I will write like A, B and output Y 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, and my output become what? D, D bar, C and C bar. That's all. Because no notation is given, so we have to assume that this is my MSB position and this is my LSB position, and these data are basically connected to this particular sequence 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now what if the notations are also given? The same example I am taking so that you can understand that what will happen if fine the notations are given and the notations are like that. Now the question arises, is this truth table is correct? No. Why? Because over there the MSB become this is my MSB and this is my LSB. Fine, understand, this is my MSB and this is my LSB. So what will be the truth table for this? The truth table will become what? BA and output Y 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, and this will become what? D, D bar, C and C bar. Fine. First I have made the changes into the select lines and I maintain the sequence over the data line. I am not changing both the things simultaneously. So you can understand first the operation of the select lines and the principle of the select lines clearly. So the question arises, sir, how you have decided that the S1 will be my MSB and S0 will be my LSB over there. Fine. So the answer is the decimal equivalent. Let me change the pen. The decimal equivalent of select line. Find the decimal equivalent, find written on the select lines, or instead of that I will write the decimal equivalent written at the lower subscript of a select line decides the MSB and LSB position. Again repeating, the decimal equivalent written at the lower subscript of the select lines decides the LSB and MSB. That means S and this D decimal equivalent decides my LSB and MSB. The highest decimal equivalent is MSB and the lowest decimal equivalent is my LSB. So over there you can see, fine, 0 and 1 are written. So which will be the highest decimal is 1. So S1 will be my MSB and S0 will be my LSB. Fine. So that is the first point that you need to be remember. Let's have another example. Let have 8 cross 1 marks. First we will clear the concept of select lines over there. Let's suppose it is mentioned like that and the variables are still written like this, A, B, C. So now A, B, C is not the sequence. Fine. It is not necessary that A is written first, so that is always be a MSB. The MSB will be what? The highest decimal written at the subscript of the select line. So over there are 3 select lines, that is S0, S1 and S2. Fine. So S2 has the highest decimal equivalent, that's why this is MSB and this is my LSB. Fine. So the sequence will be what? S2, S1, S0 and it will be written like that. What is bounded with S2? That is C. Fine. What is bounded with S1? This is A, and what is bounded with the S0? That is B over there. And then based on that we will calculate the decimal equivalent over there. And this decimal equivalent is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Understood? But if you made like that, then what will happen? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0 and this will become 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. Now if I compare these things with the actual truth table data inputs, this 1, 0, 0, where is the A? A is this. So 1, fine, over there we required 1, fine, and then both of the 0, 0. So this is the 1, 0, 0 sequence. So that decimal equivalent is what? 2 and for you it is 4. So you will find that the output will be I0, I1, I2, I3 and I4. While over there the output is what? I2. So there is a wrong interpretation have you done? Fine, a wrong interpretation has been done by you and the question will give you a negative marks. So first thing that the decimal equivalent of the select line will be very important, fine, and the lower subscript are also very important. Fine, the two concept, first is the decimal equivalent of the select line, which is I am talking about this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, fine, and the second is the LSB and MSB, that means the decimal equivalent written at the lower subscript of the select lines are also very important, because based on this lower subscript decimal equivalent we will find out the LSB and MSB position. Now the second question arises, sir, is the position of this input data matters or not? So let's have another example over there. Now I will change the data inputs, fine, also the data, find positions of the data inputs also. So again let's have an example over there, a 4 cross 1 marks with the 4 cross 1 mark. Now I hope so you are able to understand, find the LSB and MSB. So give me the answer, what is the MSB? Yes, B is my MSB and A is my LSB. Very good, fine. Now the next question is, if what happened if the sequence over there is not written as a 0, 1, 2, 3. Let's suppose the sequence is written as 0, 1, 3, 2. Is this matters? Is this shuffling of this sequence matters? No. The shuffling of this data input sequences does not matter. Fine. Whatever this 0 position is available in the mux, fine. Whenever the select lines has a 0, 0 input, the output is always be I0, or the data binded with the 0 will be available at the output side. Fine. So let's suppose I will bind 1, 0, 1, 0 as a binary data. So now if I want to write the truth table for this particular, then this will be what? B, A, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So data will always be I0, I1, I2 and I3. Now what is I0 over there? This is 0. So 0 will be this. I1 is this, so 1. Then I2 will be this, so 0, and I3 will be this, so 1. So the position of the input data does not matter, the decimal equivalent is matters. Where this particular decimal equivalent is written, fine, the same decimal equivalent will be come at the output side. So now I will summarize these points for the MSB and MSB concept of, fine. The first point, the decimal equivalent of select line generates the output, fine. Which output will be available at the output of the mux? That is decimal equivalent of the select line, based on the decimal equivalent of the select line, based on the decimal equivalent of select line, fine. The output will be, the output of mux will be generated. The output of mux will be generated, fine. Now second, the decimal equivalent written at the subscript of select line decides the MSB and LSB position. Number third, the highest decimal equivalent become MSB and lowest decimal equivalent will become LSB. Number fifth, the position of data inputs does not matter. Their decimal equivalent is important. Clear? So I have written the key points which will explain to the principle of the multiplexer as well as LSB and MSB concepts. Understood? So let's have another example over there. Now I expect that you can give me the answer. Let's start with a 4 cross, or let's have a 16 cross 1 marks. A 16 cross 1 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Fine. Now I will write, let me choose some bigger picture over there, so that it will be easily visible to you. and you can able to realize the answers. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 8, 13, 15 and 14. Let's suppose I have written like this and I bound some data over there 0, 1, 0, fine, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, fine. And if examiner is asking you to find out its Boolean expression, find out its Boolean expression. Fine. So there are two ways. First, fine, you can directly check that which of them are 0. Find the standard equations, you can write down that with based on that y equals to what? Find I0 with S0, S1, S2, S3 as a bar, 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 bar. And then just put the values over there. That is the one way. The another way, fine, the another way is what? We will write the truth table over there. And then we will use the K-map. Fine, and then directly we will use the K-map. So, let's start with this. So, now give me the answer. Which will be my MSB? Yes, S3 is my MSB. And the variable bounded is with what? C. Next is what? S2, B. Next is what? S1 is A. And next is D. So, always write S0, S1, S2 and S3. Always write the select line in the sequence. You will never do a mistake. Always write the select lines from the lower decimal equivalent to the higher decimal equivalent to the truth table and write down the variables bounded with the particular select line. So, now this will become what? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0 and last one will be what? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Fine. And then output will be what? I0, I1, I2, I3, I4, I5, I6, I7, I8, I9, I10, I11, I12, I13, I14 and I15. Fine, and write down the respective data inputs bounded with this particular lines. Fine, and then you can use the K-map to find out the Boolean expressions over here. Understood? Fine. So, how you can use the K-map? S1, S3, S2, S1, S0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. Fine. I am directly use the K-map. If I know fine how to use them, I can directly solve this K-map because I know these are the data written across the particular data inputs. There is no need to write this truth table in the GATE examination. This is just for your concern so that you can be able to understand the concept clearly. But in the GATE examination, we will not write this complete truth table. We will directly solve this Boolean expression using the K-map because the data are directly connected with this decimal equivalent and we need to put only these values particularly over there. We know that in the K-map this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. So, whatever the data written over there, we can put inside this and we can solve this K-map. Understood? So, in the GATE examination, you need not to write this complete truth table, you directly use the K-map and put these particular data with respectively the decimal equivalent given over there into the K-map will give you the answer. So, I hope so that you are able to understand the concept of LSB, MSB, principle of the marks and their representation. Now the next topic is about mux as a universal logic, because the question that we have started with that, what is universal logic and how a mux will become a universal logic. So the complete part of this universal logic I have divided into two categories. That means whatever the questions asked into the GATE examination till that, fine, into the last 25 to 30 years, fine, maximum the questions comes under these categories, fine. And if you are able to understand the concept of this particular categories, you will be able to solve all the questions within 10 to 15 seconds. So I have categorized this completely into the two major categories. What are these major categories are? The number of variables are equal to the number of select lines. Second is what? The number of variables are not equal to the select line. And then this second category I have again divided into two parts, that the number of variables are less than the select line and the number of variables are greater than the select line. Sir, we are not able to understand these categories. So let's have one example over there to understand these categories. So let's assume the question is, realize a 2-input AND gate using following mux. Number 1 is 2 cross 1 mux, and number 2 using 4 cross 1 mux. So now we have to realize a 2-input AND gates, fine. That means there are 2 variables over there. So the number of variables are nothing than the number of inputs of the logic to be realized, fine. Now we have to realize this particular logic with the help of 2 cross 1 mux. So in case of 2 cross 1 mux, the number of select lines is 1, and in case of 4 cross 1 mux, the number of select lines is 2. So if I am going to design this particular logic by using 2 cross 1 mux, then the number of variables are not equal to the number of select lines. And if I am going to design this by using a 4 cross 1 mux, then the number of variable are equal to the number of select line. So I hope so you are able to understand these two categories. Now inside the category number 2, that is the number of variables are not equal to the select line, then this number of variables are greater or less. So see, over here the number of variables are 2 and the number of select lines is 1. So I can say the number of variable is greater than the number of variables is greater than the number of select lines. So I hope so that you are able to understand this category. And fine, we will continue with this topic into the next class. Fine, thank you for watching. I hope so you enjoyed the concept of the multiplexer. You are able to understand the concept of LSB and MSB. Keep watching. Fine, thank you for watching my channel. Please subscribe my channel. We will meet into the next lecture. Thank you.